So a while ago, I was getting pretty busy between my day job, side hustles, and YouTube. I was creating videos for all three, and it was definitely wearing me down. I refused to slow down on any of those endeavors, however, and wound up getting pretty burnt out. Eventually, I started looking for help and was pretty discouraged because of the steep pricing for video editing services basically everywhere. Then I found Video Husky. This is what happened. Hey, how's it going? Kyle here, helping you level up your photo, video, and audio. And today we're talking about Video Husky. If you're watching this video, then it's probably safe to assume that you already know what Video Husky is and what they do, and you're just looking to do some research and maybe see some reviews on their services. But in short, they provide basic video editing services as well as some thumbnail work, access to stock footage and stock music, and they'll even do some tasks on your YouTube or Vimeo channel if you are willing to give them access. Video Husky says that they will give you unlimited video editing work with a 1 to 2 day turnaround with a dedicated video editor. It's a pretty appealing claim, and it was definitely attractive to me, so I wanted to try it out for myself. And I saw some positive reviews from some legitimate YouTubers, even some people that talk about photography and video. So that really solidified my decision to give them a try. I had what I thought was a pretty realistic goal for a service like this. I didn't expect it to take care of all of my needs for all the video projects that I was working on, but I thought the best case scenario would be if Video Husky could deliver a 70% solution on video projects, and then I could take the Adobe Premiere project files, load them up on my machine, and finish out the projects myself, saving roughly 70% of my time. In my mind, if Video Husky could deliver that, then I would be 100% sold, and I'd probably even double my subscription so I could be working on multiple projects at once. At any rate, let's get into the details on Video Husky. I'm gonna talk about what Video Husky is and what they do, the pros, the cons, who Video Husky is for, and who Video Husky is not for. Before I start, I wanna say a couple of things. First is that this is all just one dude's opinion. These are my experiences, your results may vary, so just keep that in mind as you continue to watch this video. Next is that I did not continue with my Video Husky subscription. And lastly, I still think that Video Husky is a valuable service for certain type of folks. So I already hit on what Video Husky claims, but how do they deliver on it? Well, after signing up, you get introduced to your video editor as well as a management team and a project management app called Rike. I won't get too deep into what Rike is, but suffice to say that it's a robust platform and it's great for this type of work, video editing with a team. And in Rike, there is a project request form that you fill out. You give your video editor all the upfront information, instructions, and even raw video files. Now, once you submit the project, your team will get to work in earnest. And they have a 1 to 2 day turnaround for each cut and every subsequent revision. They will send you the cut through Rike's video review app. It's pretty good. You go through and you leave comments and marks, and you send the video back to your video editor for revision if applicable. You go through this process as many times as it takes, with 1 to 2 days given to Video Husky each time until you accept the project. They'll provide you with the final product in whatever video file format you prefer, as well as giving you the actual Adobe Premiere project file. Now, what won't they do for you? They don't do animations, voiceover, no weddings, and no videos longer than 30 minutes unless you plan to purchase an upgrade for another $200. The base cost for the service is $500 per month, but they do have some discounts for the first month after you sign up, and they also have annual subscriptions, which will basically work out to give you 1 month free. Some upgrades at additional costs are for thumbnail work, access to stock footage, access to a music library, as well as those extra long videos going up to 60 minutes in length. And just keep in mind, I didn't test out any of those upgraded services. Last note is that the video editing teams work Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Philippine times. And yes, all of the video editing teams are located in the Philippines, so keep that in mind, whatever time difference for where you live. So what are the pros for Video Husky? Well, there's one obvious benefit to the service, which is outsourcing some of the repetitive processes of video editing, allowing you to concentrate on higher level processes, either that be creative, some of the business end of what you're doing, or even just filming more. In my case, I wanted to outsource for YouTube specifically so that I could concentrate more on my day job and side hustles, which are also around video production. So if you're in a place where you have video projects and you want to double down on creating by outsourcing, Video Husky can be a great option. Next, if you are not skilled with video editing, this can be a very inexpensive option to get help with this step in the production lifecycle. The video editing teams are very good at basic video editing. I had a shorter vlog type video and an unboxing type video that were turned around so fast with little to no revisions. Frankly, I was really impressed, and at that time I thought that all of my hopes were met. More on that later. And on the note of communication with the team is great. The team that I worked with was super responsive as soon as I left comments in Reich, and they would get back to me super fast, either with full-blown responses or just confirming that they got my message, and which always gave me a warm and fuzzy to know that, as I moved on to work on other things, that my work with them was being taken care of. Now, what are the cons of Video Husky? First, for me, is turnaround time and quality. Listen, I don't have a problem with a 1 to 2 day turnaround time, on the whole, but I definitely saw a pattern arise after a few projects. This is definitely only my opinion, but all the larger and complex projects that I sent them seem to follow this trend, which is as projects got more complex, the first cuts were just so thrown together. It was definitely not 2 days worth of work. And the implication was that, they would put something together quickly to get some direct comments from me and some direction so that they can, do the revisions and refine it further. But they were not putting the effort in on those first cuts. I felt like they didn't even try and basically were giving me homework to have to go through Reich and leave all the comments for every mistake and direction on everything. The 2 days worth of work was not lining up with the quality of products that I was receiving. Next is, if you have a particular creative direction, it can be really difficult for Video Husky to replicate that. And I figured as much going in, having worked as a video editor on other people's projects in the past. It's not easy to execute on someone else's creative vision. So that's why I was hoping to get that 70% solution and then take the Premiere project files and finish them up on my own, add my own style and polish before finalizing the video. The team of video editors really seem to do best with projects that require simple video editing. They definitely have a steep drop off in quality with added complexity. So what exactly do I mean by added complexity? What does that mean? Well, in the beginning, some of the first projects that I did with them were just one camera setup on a tripod in a vlog style, and then another one with a camera overhead doing an unboxing above a desk. Essentially it was just, creating a story, picking out the right cuts, and they did a really great job. But with the added complexity projects I'm talking about now, I had a multicam project with one camera on a tripod, one camera on a slider, some B-roll, and some external audio. Not unlike the video that you are watching right now. The first cut that they turned around for me was rough. And I mean rough. It was positively cringy to watch. But as far as video production goes, it's not exactly rocket surgery. What's worse is some of the issues that were in the video could have been easily avoided. And honestly, it just seemed like there was so little effort put in. And for this project, I went through the revision process and made all of my comments, and I made many comments, and the editors went through, basically through my list and fixed absolutely everything that I commented on. However, most of the comments were on a concept level, and there were some instances of mistakes that I commented and mentioned in the first part of the video that appeared elsewhere that I maybe didn't comment on. And that basically confirmed for me that they are putting together a project super fast with that is very, very rough, and expecting you to go through and give them the laundry list to go fix. Honestly, the way going back and forth like that wound up taking longer than it would have for me to go through and do the cut in the first place, which is what I did. This was the most disappointing part. It was probably the beginning for the end for me. So who is Video Husky for? Despite that little rant I just went on, I definitely still respect Video Husky for offering a service that is legitimately valuable. So who specifically is this for? I think vloggers. Video Husky is great for vloggers. A lot of vloggers are using one camera, stationary, static, and they're telling a story to the camera. The actual technical work behind producing one of those is not very difficult. Some basic cuts, transitions, color correction, titles, things like that. And Video Husky did a great job on my video that was exactly like that. It saved me tons of time having to sift through all the takes and to find the right takes, blah, blah, blah. Video Husky shines here. Next is lecturers. Again, anyone doing any explaining or talking in like a talking head style video, still maybe 1 to 2 cameras. It's basically the same thing as vloggers, different content, but the same technical work. I think Video Husky would do great for that type of content creator. The next person that Video Husky will be good for is someone who has little to no video editing experience. I'm a little bit tentative to put this one on the list simply because, my first reaction would be to say, hey, learn some basic video editing. However, that's a time-consuming process to learn. Not to mention that once you do learn, actually executing, as I mentioned before, is time-consuming. So if you don't have the time or the inclination to learn video editing, this can be an excellent option to get this part of the production process handled. With all that said, give video editing a try. So who is Video Husky not for? Based on everything I've said already, I'm sure it's kind of clear, so I'm gonna keep this section a little bit brief. But first is creators making complex or highly stylized videos. From my experience with Video Husky, I don't think they're a good fit if what you're after are videos with any level of complexity. As it stands, I've said enough on this subject already. I've had great experiences with the straightforward projects, but I am unimpressed with some of the rest. Next is experienced video editors. If you are already experienced with video editing and you're just looking for some inexpensive video editing production help, I don't think Video Husky is for you. By this time, you probably already have a stylistic approach that's going to be difficult for their team to reproduce, and really the process of going back and forth with revisions and leaving comments will likely wind up taking more time than if you just did it yourself. I think you should look elsewhere for video editing assistance. So that's my story. It's just one person's perspective, but I hope I was able to shed some light on Video Husky and their services. If it isn't already clear, I am not affiliated with Video Husky in any way. I'm just a former customer sharing my experience. If there's anything I didn't cover and you still have questions about Video Husky, fire those at me in the comment section down below. Do my best to answer all of the questions. And if this video helped inform you on Video Husky, let me know by clicking that like button. And on that note, if you are into photo, video, and audio like I am, definitely click that subscribe button and that bell icon so you can keep track of everything that I'm up to. And lastly, thanks for watching. The internet is a big place, so thank you for hanging out in my little corner of it. Until next time, cheers.
Cheers.
Yo, Alexa, you need to stop.